hi. So we actually learned something from previous two webinars, and today we start on time, well prepared. You're very welcome to these presentations about product discovery from business need to feasible solution. Okay, so now I will pass the voice to the Christopher, my colleague, who will provide you a quick introduction about Ergodesign.
Michael, I do think we may want to wait a minute more for some latecomers. So let's give them another 30 seconds or a minute, okay, and then we're going to start.
Yeah. So in the meantime, you can check contact to us. So if you have some further questions about the topic of the webinar, or maybe other topics according to design, then you can, of course, reach us through email or through LinkedIn. Okay, maybe 30 seconds more. Okay, I think we can proceed.
Yeah, I think it's a time to start, guys. Well, we are Ergodesign. Welcome on our another webinar event. We decided this time to talk about the product discovery. Very hot topic in our consultation programs. We do this for several years already, and we learn a lot, and we would like to pass a bit of that knowledge to you guys, that you are more familiar with the topic, how we, from the studio perspective, work on the product discovery, on inventions, how we develop the new products and services. So what might be really important, but maybe not as important, we are active in several industry segments, starting from medical through children accessories through the automotive. So it's a lot of different segments where we are active, and we got the designers who specialize in those segments. So the first question which I would have to Michael is that in the very last moment before our webinar, he just added the rediscovery to the first slide of the presentation. I would like to ask you, Michael, why you did that.
Yeah, okay. So it's a very important question, and it brings us to the actually center of this webinar. So maybe I will answer this question after I will show you this quote, because Charles Holland Duell, he was the commissioner of the United States Patent Office. In 1899, he said, "Everything that can be invented has already been invented." And of course, this was the ridiculous quote, because after he said it, we actually invented like the internet. We went to the moon. We invented those funny filters on TikTok, which can transform us into dogs or puppets or anything. But at some point, he might be right. because it brings us to the question, what actually is innovation? So do we need to associate innovation with technology, with the new technological inventions, or maybe repurposing the product, redefining, reshaping its actual reason to be? So yeah, maybe that's the weird question that needs to be asked.
Yeah, well, I do agree and disagree in same time and moment right now, because we are right now really striking so hard with the different technologies, and as you just said, we continue to develop some new technologies, new products. So some of them, they have nothing to do with the past with the products from the past. So I would probably agree and disagree at the very same time. Yeah, but let's continue.
Yeah, so let's imagine something like an iPhone. So the technology was already there. I mean, we had phones with touchscreen, and we did have phones with access to the internet. And somehow this product reshaped the reality and reshaped the way how we look on the mobile devices. So it brings us to the topic of this webinar, that maybe every new product needs to be reinvented. And we're more than welcome to show you how do we do it in Ergodesign.
Okay.
So our approach to innovation is to redefine products and services to fulfill business and human needs. So this quote actually shows us what are our main focuses when thinking about the product and its redefinition. So on the one hand, it's business, and on the other hand is human. So all we do is look at those. Of course, it's not like magical knowledge. Every design studio probably doesn't, but we really believe that the connection of business needs and actually human needs can provide us really nice innovations. And today we will show you the methods and of course some case studies how we did this through the years. And you can witness what are the results of these actions.
So in some of the cases, we may be wondering if this is or business or human, with some of the applications and product directions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what we need to really understand is, and for you guys listening us, is also probably important. In many product developments, it all starts and finishes with the business value. And that's why it's so important at the very beginning to do a good market research, to work on your challenge, to work on your challenge, to define your KPIs, which you would like to measure and track during the process and during your program of product discovery.
Yeah.
So at the very end, your business case needs to be positive. You want to bring successful product to the market. If that would be a financial success, or that would be I don't know, social success, human success, there might be different targets for your product. Again, it's not always about the dollars and this sort of the value. So definitely you need to prepare yourself before the process, gather as much information as you can have, benchmark competitors in that segment. Well, probably more looking for don'ts than does. But yeah, definitely benchmark what is out there, but still having in mind that you are looking for something new, maybe reinvented, but something new, which will bring a value to the market.
Mm-hmm. And a few more words about the challenge, because we do enjoy working on challenges, that's for sure. However, we want this challenge to be measurable. So if we start a new brave project, something really that must result in serious innovations, then we always like to know what our KPIs are. So, for example, back 10 years ago or maybe more, the company Avionaut reached us with the challenge. It was a real challenge to design the world's lightest child seat for a car. And well, so therefore it stimulated our thinking about the innovation, because we were looking at the examples from nature, like, for example, bone structures, or we examined how feathers are shaped. And then we looked at technology, and it turns out that the use of very specific type of material can provide us both great durability, great resistance for impact, and of course tremendously low weight. And the challenge was actually completed with success, and I believe that it's still the lightest chair for kids still. Anyway, let's maybe proceed to the next steps. So there are three in our product discovery process. So maybe let's start with the first one, is the horizon of possibilities. So as you can imagine, the horizon is something that spreads all across the landscape. So it's very wide, it's very far, but it actually gives us some information what's right there. And this is what this stage is all about, to explore the possibilities on the maximally wide horizon. So what we do here in this space is first, it is of course the market research, but we do it a little bit differently, because we try to measure different qualities of the products on the market, and evaluate them, and then quantify them. So at the end, we have in our briefs, we have very specifically measured what to do and what not to do when it comes to competing with the others. Then, of course, there's trend selection. We work with trends. We don't invent them. We inspect them and try to see how can they apply to the products we design. Then, of course, user and experts interviews. I provided a very interesting story about this one. And of course, law analysis, especially, of course, in circular economy, but not only. I will provide you also a very nice example. So yeah, by assessing the market and understanding the general context of the product, because this is what's all about, understanding the context, where the product will work on the market and with the humans. We can explore the opportunities. And yeah, so maybe let's proceed. Yeah, as I mentioned, doing the market research, we try to understand it and measure it. So what we really do is, for example, try to identify the niche of the products, to see how the market is saturated in some areas, and where we can see like a blue ocean of possibilities. So then we can get advantage of this niche, and actually try to come up with some ideas that will suit them really good. So, for example, on this matrix, as you see, we have two axes. One is ability to modify the product, and the other axis, the horizontal one, is the activity of the users. So we evaluated. Actually, this case study is the one we did with Globe Traveler. Very nice project, the camper vans, and of course, we went to the fair to Düsseldorf, and actually our impressions were that most of the products are quite the same. I mean, there is not much innovation, so we try to evaluate where the differences are, and actually they were in the user's activity mostly. However, this was more to do with the appearance of the products than function. However, we tried to reposition the camper we were designing from, let's say, generically active and not really able to modify, to camper for very active people and with great capabilities of being modified. And the other case study, it's I think it's 5 years old, but still very good. When we were doing a project for one of our clients, V-Shaper, the company which manufactures 3D printers, during the audit we made for them, we evaluated competitions using very specific criteria. So then we could see where there are not many competitors, so where there are opportunities for this company to actually increase the presence. Okay, then as I mentioned, we work very often with trends, and we use them to identify market driving forces, society driving forces, and also driving forces in very specific areas that our clients are present. And of course, we use many reports. We also launched this year the report Trend Spectrum for 2022 and 2023. So I encourage you to download it from our website. And we use them as a tools to let's say catch the azimuth of the product, so we can determine how the society is developing, how the market is developing, how technology is developing, and what can we do with it. And also not to mention that design also evolves, so you have many aesthetical trends you need to pay attention to. So all these things together, they bring us to the some kind of as this example is shown, is actually from one of our projects. However, we won't disclose you any further information it was about, but it resulted in some kind of barometer. So yeah, this tool is used to measure the pressure, and I think it's the same with the trends. So you can measure the stress, how different trends actually make an impact for the product and for the users.
I got a question to you. Is there a correlation between the trends in the different industries? So I don't know, comparing, I don't know, fashion to automotive or this sort of the very different industries, right? But maybe there are some similar trend directions which we capture in the past.
Of course, yes. So for instance, one of these trends is connectivity. It's a technological trend. It's our reality, and it's present everywhere.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah?
So you can see how the world is connected through your watch, through your phone, through your the beacons around you, even cameras that can actually detect the image, and also how it applies to the vehicles. That integrates all of those things, and for example, can understand you better, can provide you information about the traffic and whether you will be late for work or not. So yeah, of course, and the fashion also has to do with it. But yeah, let's separate fashions from trends. I know you mentioned fashion like clothing, but
yeah.
But many people associate trends with fashions, and it's very different, very wrong approach, because you have some, I don't know, like I mentioned before, the Instagram filters or TikTok filters, so they're more like fashions. And what we do with trends is we actually consider them as really driving forces for the industry and for designs. Okay, I promised you the story. So we also conduct user and experts interviews, so we can better understand it. And I think that very nice story can be associated with the one of the projects we made for the pilot school. The company name is Royal Star, located in Mielec in Poland. So obviously we're not pilots. Personally, I'm a big fan of aviation, but nothing more. However, the challenge was to design a service for pilot training. And what we did, we hired the actual pilot, a friend of mine. If you listen, hello, Pavel. And our first impression, how to, for example, define look and feel of aviation school is, I don't know, the pictures from Top Gun. So you have guys in leather jackets stepping into the jets. And this guy actually was very freshly trained for a pilot, and he said, like, no, it's no gamer. Actually, it's very different. So don't go for it. And this deep interviews with him actually helped us understand how this works, and this is actual training. So it has really a lot to do more with sport than with this I don't know, the flight schools from movies from America. And it's another funny story about this challenge, because our expert Pavel, he was actually challenged because we went to the school, and one of the guys from our client, he asked him, okay, so you can fly, so then let's go for a flight. Yeah, and he just gave him the keys, and we went for a nice flight. This is a photo from it. Nice.
So this schematic is a training flow, right?
Yeah, it's the path of a trainee during the course. But yeah, very interesting. So what I wanted to say is absolutely crucial to empathize, and also to look for nuances, like the association of flight training and sports. Okay, then we have legislation analysis, very crucial, very important. Another story is one of our clients that specialized in ventilation. We did the audit together, and his intuition about the market, the very specific segment of the market, was, I don't know, maybe not go this way, because it didn't pay off recently, and maybe it's not the best idea to do so. And we did a little bit digging in legislation, and it turns out that there are new regulations coming that actually, sorry, I won't be disclosing any details, but maybe it can give you the sense of it. So new legislation is coming, and actually the thing he wanted to resign from would create like a tremendous opportunity, business opportunity for this company. And they did, and it really paid off. So it's absolutely super important to always look about the legislation, and of course all the regulations which are around the product, because they can shape us this horizon of possibilities, and we can prepare for the new, of course. Okay, so a short case study. The one actually Christopher Bogomas, our colleague, talked about in Gdynia Design Days. The project was for JKB, the company that manufactures furniture and furniture parts. So they asked us for a challenge to explore some possibilities that are present in the segments of furniture. And after a very long project, including interviews, including market search, including trend analysis, and many more, we came up with 3 concepts. Of course, those that wasn't selected, I'm not disclosing, but there were different circular strategies, because one of the main challenge was that this products need to be fully circular. So we took advantage of furniture that grow with kids. I will say a few more words about it later, but what I want to say that all those possibilities were quite good and quite well market fitted. I think the first possibility was like the closest one to the client's intuition, and it was the most promising. But what's very important about this stage of the project, so you can use the remaining not used concepts again in the future. Of course, you need to reevaluate them if they still make sense. Okay, so it brings us to the phase 2, hypothesis of innovation. Actually, for me, it's my favorite one, because I specialize in industrial product design. So this phase has the most to do with thinking about product innovation and working with hands. Okay, so yeah, what do we do here? We conduct co-create workshops. So we invite, of course, client representatives, we invite the experts, we invite also the possible future users of the product to co-create with us some ideas about the product. So there is a very saturated in the ideation process, and we start from scratch. We start from very raw forms, primitive ones, mockups from cardboard, mockups from styrofoam, ending on quite detailed prototypes. And we do it for validation and precise selection of the solutions. So actually, this phase is mostly about materializing the result of the product. So yeah, when we co-create, we're working by doing. So it means we very rarely or barely don't sit on the table in the table and bring blank sheets of paper and sticky notes, as we really maybe not need, but we're taking some artifacts that can stimulate our thinking. So very often we use Lego bricks, we use styrofoams, and actually this very primitive mockups, they we do on the go by conducting the workshops. So we believe that this is like the best way to do it, and we always try to prepare the workshops so well. So at the end, we come up with something we can touch, we can examine, we can proceed further, not the pile of sticky notes. Because yeah, of course, we do sticky notes, but we believe in more practical approach, and this is something we actually learned from Lean. Then yeah, my favorite part: raw mockups and tests. So this is example of how we conducted the project of camper vans for Globe Traveler. This is the one you can see in the right top corner. And we started from flat layouts, because the layout is something you always need to adjust at the very beginning of working on designs, such thing like camper van. So it has a lot to do with functionality, with communication inside, and with alignment of specific features, because we knew that there were like 4 seats, we knew that there was going to be kitchen, the bed, etc. So then we can discuss very different layouts using, actually this was specially prepared to do so. Then we move to the scale models. So we can see how our hypotheses work in scale and in third dimension. So we used also this tiny Lego characters to see how would they communicate inside, maybe how many people will fit, to role play, not role play, but to do the little puppet show, to show some scenarios, how they can be used. And yeah, it was very nice thing to do. And then we moved to the bigger scale, actually full scale, and we built in our prototyping lab a full-scale mock-up from cardboard and styrofoam, and we used it for examination with potential and present users. And it was something that provided us like the most information that we could get. So before we proceed to the full-scale mock-up made out of this wooden things, sorry, boards, yeah, in the interior of the actual car. Then we did the same thing in our lab. So we could discuss the function, we could discuss the communication inside, we could evaluate some ideas, not getting very deep into the limitations of the body, because if something would be really promising, then maybe it would be like the reason to change the chassis.
So it's very common in the industry to work with clay or different prototyping materials. Yes. To visualize the solution, right?
Yes, of course. And we also take advantage of using 3D printing very often, because this is the quickest way to redefine something. For example, the shape, you can scale the product in like milliseconds and then put it to 3D printing, and next day you have it done, and then you can grab it, you can reach it.
Well, yeah.
Clay too, yeah. Clay we used.
In the past, the 3D printing technology was very limited to the small objects, right?
Yes.
But right now you got those 3D printing machines which can bring really huge size objects, and that is really a tremendous change, because you got a almost the object the size you're gonna have in the future, pretty fast prototype, and you are able to test it and check your environment.
Yeah, in the old days, it was the result of the project to have something 3D printed. But right now, we very often we don't show them like some middle models to the clients, because we use them internally to examine some things. Yeah, but yeah, we do it a lot. Okay, then there is something very important for the industrial products, form factor. So this form factor is very often associated with consumer electronics. So whether we know how to package the product, whether the PCB inside will fit, or it gives us some limitations to where the buttons should be, or etc. Many different factors. And actually, we consider form factor as to be something a lot more. It has a lot to do with product function, the scale of it, and its possibility to adapt to the human scale. So we experiment with the shapes using very different techniques. So this example can show you how we designed a juicer using styrofoam. And
so tell me the proportions. It's more the functional or the styling aspect?
Both, actually. Both, because actually, when we designed this case, the proportions gave us some idea about the scaling of the product that was initially designed in some variants, and then the smallest one were addressed more to like small flats, maybe consumers living alone or something, and the bigger ones, they could very well worked in the small bistro or something. So yeah, it's of course it's both, and we need to look at those things like in the same time. But it's very important that during this phase we don't really put that much attention to the aesthetics of the product. Of course, it's very difficult not to, for example, design the tectonics of the product. But it's crucial. It's too early, because we do it after we know exactly what should be inside, what are the proportions, what was the scale of the product. So then we can fit it a little bit better. Of course, sometimes we mix it, but general sense is like we do it after. And of course, there is validation and selection. So this is mostly why we do it, to evaluate and to select the right solutions. So this example, maybe I mentioned about it in the previous webinars, but for those who didn't attend, this is the medical device addressed for women after giving birth. So it's very, fortunately not very, but it's quite common for them to have some anus injuries after giving birth, and one of our clients, Oasis, came up with the idea how to measure this, let's say, damages inside. And it's a very innovative device, and they asked us to design the general experience of the product. And initially we thought that maybe it's going to be a good idea to provide it some pistol grip, and this device has some touch screen, so you can, as you see, you can use the device quite differently. So you can hold it in your hand, and then you can type something on the keypad, and then of course you can use it holding like a small tablet. And we were quite proud of ourselves, and of course gave our client our feelings, what do we think about this solution? And this came up. This we did in like 1 week, and the client evaluated this. Okay, some aspects are very good, very well designed, but usually you might need 2 hands to conduct this medical examination. So of course we took different approach to make this product a little bit more standing. So it fits better to.
So validation is not only our judgment; it's to have the right testing group to check the performance of the device.
It's barely ever our judgment. I mean, we always do it to ask some people who are smarter than us. Obviously, we are just facilitators.
Or closer to the product function. Right?
Yes, of course. Okay, so to give you a short glimpse, what this stage can result in is the family entertainment park. So you can see the horizon of possibilities that we're able to do, because one of the Warsaw quarters, Waver, asked us to, because they had some land and they didn't really know what to do with it, apart from they knew that it should be some space addressed to the families and for their entertainment during free time to provide some interesting information about the quarter, etc. And we did very interesting project with them, like a family entertainment park. And after conducting interviews, workshops, and many more activities in the field, it's very important that we did it right there. We came up with the map. And this form we use very often. So like we really enjoy showing the result of the projects in form of map, because it can provide you some areas you can go to, or some areas maybe you can explore after. So this is more like a buffet you can pick. Of course, so we always help our clients to pick which solutions, in our opinion, will work the best. But of course, it's always crucial to give the full spectrum of possibilities. So this is what might be the result of this kind of project. So yeah, we do a lot of maps. Okay, and then we have the last stage. So it's brief and pre-concept. So when we understand the product so good, so we know its scale, we know its shape, we know its function and how the form influences the function, then we can come up with some information that is very crucial to define it a little bit more. So you can have at the end some glimpse of the product. You can show, for example, to the stakeholders, so you can actually make some decisions based on this, how this product looks, how it works. You can show it to, I don't know, when you're a startup, you can show it to the fundraisers. Okay, so they can evaluate your idea. And yeah, it's all about all those 3 things combined together. So Moodboard, which gives us the sense of experience, the visuality, the visual of the solution, and then the presentation, very important part. So starting from Moodboards, we use them very often to nearly always to define this look and feel of the product, but it's very more than only aesthetics. So in this case, for example, working for Oasis, we used Moodboards to define whether this should be a consumer product, very friendly in look and feel, very friendly in experience, or whether you're looking for more for some kind of very professional looking medical device that can be associated more with like measuring devices. So we have on one hand we have use of round forms, the bulky shapes, and white plastic, and on the other hand we have this metallic finish. We have tectonics. We have a little bit edgy structure. So we can use it to communicate, and this is what we do. And this resulted in very better scope of the product. How shall we understand it in terms of look and feel and the experience? And of course, this is the first step. This is the input to CMF design, which happens, of course, after. Yeah, of course, there is after visualizations of the solutions. So the product is initially shaped. So you can really talk about details with I don't know, some constructors if they're involved in this stage, or maybe the stakeholders, so they can evaluate if this fits the purpose or maybe not really. And we visualize a lot because it's a relatively quick way to get a sense of the product. So you can check on quite early stages of 3D modeling how the product will be felt by the users, you know. And last but not least is the concept presentation. So it's a very important stage. So the company that our client can be familiarized with the concept. For instance, when you have a group of salesmen, then maybe it's a good idea to show them what we're developing right now, so they can prepare for the product launch better. And maybe ask some customers about things that can give you any input at this stage of the project. And of course, the presentation is the tool for decision making. Of course, for the company stakeholders, but also for as I mentioned before, the investors, for example, when you're a startup. So yeah, this is something where the most detailed form we're looking for, but also with the ability to change something. Because with CMF, for example, we can change absolutely the characteristics of this product completely, and this we can do when briefing. So okay, what can I do end up with? I mean, this whole stage. So the first thing is the brief. And it's another example also shown in Gdynia, the same project, JKB, sorry, Polish brand, circular furniture for kids. So as I mentioned, we enjoy maps, and this is the map how the product will evolve during the time, because all the idea of the concept we came up with was to grow with kids to the very grown-up stages, so you can benefit from circular economy by changing some products and then dis and reassembly the product itself, use the used components, etc. And of course, to understand the system, you need to base on some scheme, and this is why we do maps. So this is like the form of the brief, which provides great value for the client and for all the people involved in this project development. Yeah, this is something that was initially designed. It's like a pre-concept, because the product is not designed fully. It's the pre-concept, so it can give you a glimpse how the specific characteristics of the products may work in this kind of environment. Of course, there are used different circular strategies for the project, such as standardization and compatibility, dis and reassembly, and of course, what comes after is the very different appearance of the product. So if you have used panels, for example, in this project, it will look differently. And in this pre-concept, because yeah, I want to highlight that this is actually the space that predecessed the industrial design project. Sorry for looking for words. And in this case, we wanted to really to show how the appearance of the product may evolve, because it's made of new and used components. Okay, so let's summarize a bit, and then maybe we can proceed to the Q&A session. So where can product discovery be useful? Of course, when you're looking for innovation in product, then always it can be useful. And the idea is to identify or repurpose the new product or service. So as we mentioned before, the repurposing of the product can be value itself. So you don't need to come up always with technological innovation, new materials, new technology. something very, very complex. Sometimes this innovation can be achieved on the behavioral level or something better fitted to customers. So yeah, so we can identify.
We got this move of the technologies between the industries. So like
Yes.
like whatever, like space technologies, which later on use in medical or automotive. So
yeah,
so that's also one of the applications, right?
I didn't mention how we can benefit from analogies, but of course it's something we do very often. Yeah, so you can, for example, observe the we had this very interesting project recently, but maybe it's a story for another webinar. But to make long story short, we took inspiration from the lighthouse to make product really more visible. But yeah, maybe more about it later. Yeah, so of course it can be useful to define value proposition, especially for the business, but also for the users. We can use product discovery to improve product or service. We did it quite often. And of course, for the definition of the product, whether it's new, whether it's a completely new product or is a generation of product that already exists. So all these cases, you can benefit pretty much from looking at the product as a very wide spectrum of possibilities. And how the business can benefit. So first and foremost, by reducing the risk of implementation on certain innovations. Why? Because we conduct a lot of research during the process. We conduct a lot of examinations. So at the end, we can be almost certain, because you can never be certain when developing product, but we can be almost certain that something that comes to the market is very well examined and it will work well, and it will just be well fitted for your business. Of course, the business can benefit by increasing the human-centered product innovation, because right now we live in times where business has a lot to do with human centricism and equality and of course the economy of values. We didn't mention circular economy and the environmental impacts, but of course it's all human-centered, so you can really benefit from it. And of course, exploring the innovation and prioritize them in time. As I mentioned, the things we can come up with during the process can be prioritized and developed in very different horizons of time. So you can have innovations which will be well suited for today and tomorrow. And there are some that can work well in 2 or 3 years, because you can see the market is already.
There are a lot of industries where the products are very complex,
yes,
and the development time of the complete product is very long. It's 3-4 years.
Not to mention the product has to mature.
You want to be ahead with your product, which will be released in 4 years from now. So you need to be looking at the technologies and maybe some features which are not so common right now and nowadays, but will be common and very desired in the future, in those 3-4 years, right?
Yes, of course. So I think this is it, and we really hope that we gave you just a glimpse of how we do stuff in Ergodesign, which we really love, because actually this phase of the project, from my perspective, is like where the most of the magic happens, where you can really take all you can get from the possibilities of the market, of the technology, of the behavioral behaviors of the consumer, and put it in the well-fitted product. So thank you very much.
So what Michael just showed is probably one of the ways how you can work on new product development, how you can discover the new product. There might be other ways, maybe a different paths, and that's how we do that, and that's based on our experience, and we know that works, brings good results and benefits in a good product directions. Nevertheless, there are other ways, definitely, and probably other studios or small companies, they are following a bit different paths, but at the end they are checking the very same things. I think that process, I think that process might be adopted to many product types, right?
And services.
And services as well. So it may vary a bit in the details, but in general, the flow would be very same. We may ask you guys for some questions if you have them, to type them in a chat window.
Yes, we really hope for questions we can answer. And just for the quick summary in one sentence. So you maybe want to look for product discovery wherever there is a challenge in design. So this is something that can summarize all these webinars. So
challenge in the design, or you are not familiar with the industry you are starting with.
Yeah, but there is a challenge itself.
Yeah, there is a challenge itself because you are pretty new. So you are not a 10, 20 years industry professional. You are starting with something new. You know, that's excited. You know that may work, but to work on the details and the detailed design, it's a certain path you need to take, and some steps need to be done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Comments,
yeah. We have probably no comments.
So
it's really vacation period, and we know that a lot of our customers, even if they're in the office, they are pretty busy with the running projects. So guys, from our side, thank you so much for joining us today and listening Michał, what's his experience in the product discovery process. He's our lead designer, is very experienced. So if you got any questions later on, you can always text myself or Michał, and we'll get back to you shortly.
Yeah. If there is no comments in the
room,
I
think we are closing, Michał.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys, and keep up with our subscriptions.
Webinars will be making them more and more exciting.
And new podcasts, of course, are coming soon.
Okay.
So thank you very much, and have a great afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, guys. Bye.